Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but your stroke still falls apart when the pressure is on? You swim strong, but your body wobbles off of the wall. Your legs drop mid pull. You hit the last 25 of 100, and your rhythm vanishes like you've never had it at all. If that sounds familiar, it's not your stroke, it's your core. And I don't mean your abs, I mean your center line. The muscle between your ribs and your hips that hold everything together when the rest of your body wants to fall apart. The part of you that controls your rotation, your line, your breathing, your kick, basically everything. But here's the kicker. Most swimmers, even the ones that train 5, 6 days a week, have a core that's not functionally ready to support their speed. They have strength, but not connection. They're working hard, but leaking power every lap. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a core strength that actually translates to better swimming. Strength that holds your line, anchors your power, and gives you the kind of control elite swimmers make it look easy. And I will show you how swimmers inside the Swim Accelerator program use these principles in the water and on land to break through performance walls they've been stuck at for years. Let's go beyond the crunches. Let's build a swimmer's core. All right, let's clear the air first. When most people hear core training, they think sit ups, planks, maybe some Russian twists if they feel really spicy. But none of that, and I mean none of that, trains your body to move through the water with control. You can have visible abs and still get ripped apart on your breakout. Why? Because a strong core in the gym is not the same as a functional core in the pool. Your body doesn't move in straight lines when you swim. It rotates, it undulates, it resists collapse with every breath, every turn, every breakout. Your core isn't just stabilizing, it's transferring energy from your kick up to your pull, from your turn to your breakout. It's the bridge between every powerful piece of your stroke. And when that bridge is unstable, you lose rhythm. You over rotate, your hips sink, you pull harder than you need to just to stay on pace. I've seen swimmers with massive gym lifts have no flow in the water. And I've seen 12-year-olds with zero muscle tone move through the water like silk because they were connected. So here's the shift you're going to make today. Stop thinking about core strength as crunches and planks. Start thinking about it as a swimmer connection. You're going to train your body to move the way you need to move in the water. Let's dive in a little deeper. The core isn't just one muscle, it's an entire system. It includes the transverse abdominals, your deep stability layer, the obliques, your rotation muscles, the lower back and spinal stabilizers, and the glutes and hip flexors. Yes, that is part of it too. This system is your anchor point, your axes, the engine room of swimming. So here's what it does in real time. It holds your body line. Every time you take a breath, your core keeps your hips from dropping and your spine from twisting too far. Without it, you would just basically corkscrew. It helps transfer power. You kick hard, but without a connected core, that force never reaches your arms. It's like snapping a rope with a loose knot in the middle. The energy just disappears. It helps control your rhythm. Great swimmers don't just pull hard, they time everything off of their core movement. Hip driven kick, rotation from the ribs, pull that connects with that twist. That's what makes the stroke look so smooth. I had a swimmer once, a 39-year-old national swimmer that I was working with. Big engine, great pull, but her splits always fell apart after that first 50. After some video analysis, we didn't touch her stroke at all. We focused on rebuilding her core engagement with rotational slams, stability drills, and resistance dolphin kick. She was able to drop 6 seconds in the 100 free, not from doing more laps, but having a better connection. And that's what I want for you. Because when you stop swimming from your shoulders and start swimming from your center, everything changes. Let me show you how you can train that next. You know that swimmer with the perfect six pack, but can't hold their body line past the flags? That's the difference between a static core and a functional core. Let's be real. Anyone can build visible abs with a calorie deficiency and crunch circuits, but that won't make you faster in the water. A functional swimmer's core is dynamic, rotational, anti-rotational, connected to movements from head to toe. It resists unnecessary movement while allowing explosive motion. That means holding a tight streamline during a vertical breakout, maintaining hip elevation during breath control sets, rotating through your pull without overdoing it in your shoulders. It's not about flexing. It's about transferring and stabilizing force through unstable environments, like every inch of your swim. Here's the difference. An aesthetic core work would look something like this: crunches, side bends, static planks. Functional core work instead would have rotational medicine ball throws, hollow body holds with flutter kicks, Supermans to streamline extensions, single leg glute bridges with a twist. These movements mimic how you move in the pool. They don't just isolate, they integrate. You're training your brain and your body to hold tension, transfer force, and sustain rhythm under fatigue. That's how you go from strong on land to fast in the pool. Let's break down some core movements that actually matter for swimmers. These are the exact drills and lifts that I use with my swim accelerator swimmers and my senior athletes to build stability, connection, and race day power. I'm going to split it into two ways: land and water. When we're on land, these dryland core builders can really help. We start with hollow body holds plus flutter kicks. Start on your back, arms in a streamline, lower back pressed into the ground. That is key. Tight flutter kicks for speed. Why does this exercise work so well? It trains streamline shape, glute and ab co-activation, and breath control under tension. Next, you have your rotational medicine ball slams. Feet shoulder width, rotate from the hips and core, slam hard across the body, alternating sides. This helps build rotational power, the same kind of drive you use off of the wall or in your freestyle catch. Then one of my personal favorites is single leg glute bridges with a twist. Glutes drive the lift. Core controls the twist. Elbows stay wide, eyes neutral. This is a great way to combine the hip drive to the oblique control. Exactly what's needed during undulation and kick timing. And finally, a very interesting one is doing bear crawl to streamline kick. How this works is you go bear crawl for 4 steps, hold a streamline position, flutter kick for 15 seconds and do it again. Why does this work? It's a transitional control. Forces core engagement during the movement changes. Now let's move into those in-water movements. Of course, one of my favorites is vertical dolphin kick. Arms crossed, or if you want to challenge yourself, go into that streamline. Kick from the hips, keep your chest up. No fins, short bursts, 10 to 15 seconds. Your goal is to go pure core undulations. Then move to streamline backstroke kick with a buoy above the knees. Squeeze the buoy between your thighs, kick in a streamline, keeping your hips still yet high. This helps teach the body to control and stabilize the body line while your legs are moving. There's also the Superman push off into a breaststroke glide hold. Push off in a Superman glide and engage your core to hold your position just below the surface. No kicks, no pull out, nothing. This essentially teaches your post turn core hold and your streamline tension. Because you don't want to push off the wall and be very loose. You want to have that great tensional moment. And finally, we have the 3-2-1 body roll drill. Swim 3 freestyle strokes. Then roll to your side for 2 beats, continuing to kick. Then to your back, kicking in a tight streamline. Roll back to your side, do 2, then 3 strokes on freestyle. Keep rotating like that. The goal here is to build rhythmic rotational control. It recruits the obliques and the lower back to help stabilize. Each of these movements builds not just strength, but awareness. And awareness builds connection, and connection builds speed. And the best part of all of this is most of these only take 10 to 15 minutes, a few times per week. And the benefits will ripple into every part of your swims. So now you know what to do. Let's talk about how it can fit into your training week, even if you're tight on time. You don't need to train like an Olympian and put in massive amount of yardage. You need to train like somebody who wants everything they do to matter. So here's how I structure this for my swimmers. We do 2 times a week Dryland core exercises, 20 to 30 minutes, before or after they swim. We choose 3 to 5 movements from our Dryland list, rotate through 3 to 5 cycles, and keep transitions tight, focusing on control, not speed. Let me give you an example. On a Tuesday, we might do hollow body kicks for 30 seconds, rotational slams, 10 per side, glute bridge twists, 12 reps, and then our bear crawl streamline combo for 3 rounds. Done. That's it. Then we'll get in for our swim, still focusing on that core engagement. For our water-based core sets, we might build that into the warm-up or an activation post-warm-up set. This helps replace garbage yardage with 10 to 15 minutes of focused core engagement. For example, you might have an activation set where you do 4 25s, streamline back kick with a buoy, going into 4 20-second vertical dolphin kicks, and then 4 25s of 3-2-1 body roll drill. To do this like a pro, pair hard kicking sets with core activation during your Dryland. It primes the body-mind connection and unlocks better form when you're under fatigue. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be intentional. Because the swimmer who shows up to practice with their core already firing, already connected, starts every set ahead of the curve. And those are the kind of swimmers that end up in the swim accelerator. And that's what I want for you. Speaking of which, let me tell you about someone whose entire stroke changed once we built that foundation from the core out. I was working with Jake, an 18-year-old, getting ready to go into college. When he came to me in the swim accelerator, his first message to me included a statement that blew me away. I always feel like I'm swimming through molasses. My upper body wants to go, but my legs are dragging behind me. We took a look at his stroke through our stroke analysis service and was clear. Jake didn't have a power problem. He had a connection problem. His core wasn't engaging. His kick was disconnected from his pull. Every rotation was wobbly through the midsection. And so we started to put in the work. I introduced him to including Dryland 2 times a week with those rotational slams, the Superman extensions, and the hollow body transitions. In the water, we built in sets that built around that streamline kick, that body roll drills, and high intention dolphin kicks. And we worked on his timing, learning to move from the middle out, not from the shoulders down. Within weeks, I got messages from Jake saying that he's never felt so balanced, never felt like he could ride the stroke, ride through the water as cleanly as he was at that moment. Practices had gotten easier, his times were starting to drop, and he was hitting pace times that he had only dreamed of. We never added any extra volume. We just built in intentional strength. And that's what the Swim Accelerator is built for. We talk smart training, pair it with personalized guidance, and rebuild the connection between you and the water. I want to share something special with you today. If you're ready to take your strength training and your core activation from aesthetic to functional, I have a 12-week swim specific strength program that targets the pull strength, the kick power, the core stability, and stroke rate endurance. Each week includes 2 full body workouts with pull ups, rows, squats, and rotational work, medicine ball drills, plank transitions, and flutter kick progressions. Progressions built for swimmers. It's not about heavy lifting. It's about lifting smart with movements that translate directly into better feel, timing, and control in the pool. And it stacks beautifully with your technique and core training plans. You're not too old for this. You're not too late for this. You just haven't had the system that built for what you're looking for and where you want to go with your swimming until now. I've dropped the link in the description and in the first comment below. So let's wrap up here. Your core isn't just about abs, it's about the control tower from your entire stroke. Aesthetic training is nice, it'll give you a nice body, but functional core strength is what wins races and builds rhythm. Within a few movements on land and in the pool, you can rewire your body to move like a swimmer again. Faster, smoother, and more in line. You don't need more yards. You just need a better connection. Start with the 10 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. Build it, feel it, own it. And if you want someone in your corner, guiding your stroke, coaching your core, and keeping you on track, join us in the Swim Accelerator. I'll see you on the inside. Let's build the kind of swimmer you were meant to be.